coming to a sunrise. So what my eye, that moment I visualize is coming. If you can see me now, see I'm gonna break through the life I knew. Been waiting, a dream come true. Still aiming. If you could see me now, if you could see me now.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title, we're back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. This is actually a pretty highly requested deck for me to try out. This is Dragonmaids. This is my first time really trying out the deck. I've seen it around, but I haven't really messed with it. It wasn't really my style, but it was requested, and here it is. This is the build we're going with right now. I looked up a bunch of builds. I kind of put together what made sense. It is subject to change, obviously. If you guys have any ideas of things I should try, let me know in the comments. But I'm going to be hitting you guys with some post-commentary to a couple games that I played that I thought went pretty well. We have a Dragonmaid mirror match where we actually were able to win, I think, in 2 turns. It was pretty cool. I actually just went off. And then we have another match where we played against a Light Swarm player where we actually had a very big come-from-behind victory because of the Dragonmaid trap card, which is actually a pretty good card. But let's jump in. If you guys enjoy the video, drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I try to do Yu-Gi-Oh videos every week. Let's check it out. Alright, game 1 we were able to go second. Again, we were playing against another Dragonmaid player. I don't use the continuous spell card, but as soon as he played the continuous spell card, I knew what he was playing. He immediately goes into the fusion though. So he does have 1 Omni negate. I do actually really like that fusion. On our turn, we actually have a mass amount of stuff we can do, but we start off with the Lightning Storm just to kind of bait the negation, because he has to end up using it. Gets a search and discard off the kitchen, not a big deal. I actually chose not to play kitchen because a lot of people said it's kind of a neg-1. You play a card to search a card to just send a card to graveyard. I know they can do a bunch of stuff with the graveyard, but those are just better options. Start off with Parla, send 1 to grave. What did I even send? Oh yeah, the Ash It. Last card in their hands, an Ash Blossom. They were just happy to see, you know, another Dragonmaid player. Almirage, will Legacy Guard Dragon and bring back the Parla. I should have. I'm gonna pause it real quick. I should have went into Striker Dragon because if I had, I would have been able to bring out that middle card. That middle card's a really awesome dragon. Noctovision Dragon. So it summons itself from your hand whenever a Dark Dragon monster is special summoned to your side of the field. So if I had summoned Striker Dragon, I could special summon that from my hand and then still use the World Legacy Guard Dragon to get Parla back. And I would have been able to draw off of Noctovision, because when you link with Noctovision, you get to draw a card, and I would have been able to keep going. So that's just another line of play I could have went, and I would have been able to summon the Red Eyes Darkness Metal from my hand. But I went with a little bit more of a I guess simpler variation. Crossroads Dragon doesn't really do much. It just works as an extender because of the arrows and the fact that it's easy to make with Almirage. Trying to decide what I want to go into. See, I want to use the Noctovision, that's why I'm looking at LB and Pitsley. So we decided to summon. Special summon. And then we go into Crossroads, sorry. And we get to draw a card off the Noctovision. And now LP can be used. Go ahead. Which lets me summon, you know, anything from deck, which is crazy. Get out Nurse. Nurse effect activates. Special summon Parla back from the grave. I really like Nurse, especially even at 1, because you can just pull it out of the deck, and once you start, you can just abuse it. every turn. It's so gross. if you could tell by my slow clicks, I was still trying to get a feel for the deck, and I was like freaking out about it a little bit. Trying to make sure I made the best plays possible. Like right there, I don't know why I grabbed Knock Division. You can only use this effect once per turn, so it was kind of a foul up on my part. Now I basically had to go for game because I just banished Pitsy. I still didn't know what the best line of play was to go in here, but I know I was going big, as big as I could get. And in this case, we went. Now, I also forgot about Heraldic Seal's effect, where I could attribute it to bounce one of my opponent's cards. I wouldn't have had to do nearly the craziness I'm about to do now. So I'm now link off Heraldic Seal and the Red Eyes Darkness to summon Vert's Anaconda to then get Red Eyes Dragoon. Like I said, a bunch of stuff that didn't really need to be necessary. But it still was enough damage to give us the W on our first turn. So it wasn't 2 turns, it was 1 turn. Yep. Now, before we go into the next game, again, we went second on this one. I make a lot of misplays. Please don't tear me up in the comments. Remember that this is my first night really trying the deck out. But I think I managed to make a recovery and managed to come back pretty well. There's a lot of things I could have done differently. That and the hand I opened up with was wildly mediocre. Where my opponent opens up charge and just goes ham. It's a trick clown. Yeah, just watch this. I thought he was honestly going to go harder than he did, but thankfully he didn't. I actually don't know I didn't know what this card did, and because of that, it almost cost me the game. So read your cards, people. Now, I'm going to pause it again here to point out that I got extremely flustered at this point. The Gozen match is attributes. I thought it was types. I thought it was Rivalry of the Warlords. That was my bad. So I hesitate and don't do the things I normally would have done. Like there's a point where I could summon Knock Division Dragon, but I don't summon it because I think I can't. Like right now, I could have already summoned it. But see, I didn't summon it because I thought I couldn't. I don't know why. It highlighted itself for me and everything. I don't know. I was on another planet, clearly. And then I double check and I see that it's attribute, not type. I'm like, what do I do now? So I gotta banish the Striker Dragon. Thankfully, I would have come back with a decent play. Bam. Another thing that I realized I could have done here that I'm mad I didn't do. Obviously, I'm going for Dragoon. I didn't need to get the search off of off the little guy, but I did. And right here is where I was just so mad at myself. So because of their own Gozen match, I could have used Anaconda to turn one of his monsters into a dark, and he would have lost. He would have lost the dark monster. And then I could have used Red Eyes Dragoon to pop his monsters, clearing his board before I even have to attack. I don't know why I immediately went to battle phase, but I realized that as soon as I clicked battle phase, what I could have done. I was very upset. But he ditches the damage juggler. I negate it, sending the trap to grave to set up. Now that I have a Dragonmaid in hand, I didn't know this thing had an effect when it went to the graveyard. And then the Trick Clown went to the graveyard since it was detached with material. A lot of stuff I should have thought of before attacking. And now he pops both my monsters. This all I should have done Duramain phase 1. Told you, misplaced for days. Now, I was banking on these trap cards doing something on the following turn, and when I couldn't activate them, I couldn't figure out why. But Nurse Dragonmaid is an Earth, and I have a Dark monster on the board, so I can't summon the Earth monster until the board is clear or goes with match is gone. Again, my bad. Monster Reborn go, he goes for Lila. I tried to be very careful with the Red Eyes Dragoon here because I wanted to make sure I can, get the best use out of it. There's a lot of moves I let him make that I thought were good. Like right now, I'm letting him get away with the Lila. Because I'm like, what is he gonna make that's gonna be able to get over Dragoon right now? Michael's fine. He goes after my back row. Noctivision's second effect is, third effect technically, is if somebody targets one of your set cards, you can banish it to not only save the card, but now they can't target your set cards for the rest of the turn. It's actually a really, really solid card. Summons another Raiden. Rather than land a mill, I just ash it. Now see, I negate and destroy this thing because I had no idea what it did, but I thought since it was his last monster, this might actually stop his play. But this lets him get Judgment Dragon back to his hand, though he did have a second one. If you actually look at his life points are hurting right now. He's down 800 life points, so he can't even activate Judgment Dragon a second time. But obviously, Dragoon can't be destroyed. He does make a huge brain play. I will say that my opponent did something I did not expect. Now that it's gone, I can now use my trap card, which I don't think Dragonmaid Cleanup is the actual name for it. Tidying. Dragonmaid Tidying. Hat Trigger summons another one. Now I thought he was going to overlay into forest. He doesn't. He summons another Judgment Dragon. So I'm like, okay, what's he going to do? And he does this, which I thought was the hugest brain play possible. Tachyon Dragon doesn't target, doesn't destroy, and negates all monsters' faces up on the board, including Dragoon. So Dragoon is just and it resets their attack points back to normal, which is, again, crazy. I thought he was going to suicide to Dragoon, but nope. He just gets rid of my monster and then overlays it into an old school level 4 old school rank 4 I haven't seen in a while. Yep, and then he just bounces it back. At this point, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. My one card is Book of Moon. So I use Tidying, summon out Nurse, make no plays with Nurse, and literally just set Book of Moon and let Nurse bounce back to my hand. I felt that Nurse was safer in my hand than if I had did anything else with it. And this is where I got. This is at this point I'm thinking I'm gonna lose. Now Nurse is back to my hand. Now here's my big brain strat. I activate nothing. Just let him do his thing. I bet I have 6,000 life points. As far as I know, he can't kill me yet. Right now, he has 6,000 damage on board. If he just swung out, he could kill me. But I have it face down. So, as for why the Book of Moon's in there, it's just great because synchros, links, exceeding, it all needs face-up monsters. Book of Moon can set a monster up, and it can cuck your opponent in many, many different ways. It's part of the reason why Ultimate Conductor time around is good because you can set all your cards, all your opponent's cards. Now he summons a Lala to attempt to pop my back row. I let him go for the effect. He targets it, and I set the Lumina because Tachyon Dragon and Musketeer were already on the board. He could easily just switch them back to attack mode and swing out when I lose. By doing this, I actually Lila he put into defense mode himself. The Lumina can't attack now because he can't switch it back. He'll summon this turn, so he just links them away for a Blackluster Soldier and swings at me for 3k. Now, Blackluster Soldier can normally protect itself if it's, you know, made with a level 7 or higher monster, but because he had Tachyon Dragon as his biggest monster, you know, has a rank, not a level, I can still target it with effects. And even if it didn't, watch what I do. I was very proud of this play. I managed to make a full comeback with just these 2 cards. And now I get to special summon this from hand. Now, I didn't realize that this worked until I kind of fell into it. But, yeah. I go into Pitsy. And because of his Blackluster Soldier, I'm able to activate Pitsy's effect to summon back Red Eye's Darkness Metal, which lets me get an additional special summon. Which I then use to get Knock Division back. No, I don't. Do I just get... Yeah, I just get Nurse. And here's the biggest misplay of the match. Though it doesn't affect me that much because I'm able to continue playing. But I didn't realize the Hieratic Seal needed to be in the extra monster zone for his effect. So I make him and then just stare at him because he can't do anything. So then I just immediately link into Borolo Dragon. And felt like a total dumbass. I was gonna go Boral Sword, but he has the Lila in defense, the Lumina in defense mode, I'm sorry, and the Blackluster. Not a good play yet. So I swing in with Borload and take his Blackluster. And then Blackluster runs over Lumina, which he then uses Ultimate Conductor to... That was an accident. The minus 500 didn't really matter. He uses the electromagnetic turtle that he discarded earlier to protect the Lumina, so he can hopefully have a play on the following turn. I was just like, what do I do now? I have two big beat sticks. He's got 2 3KB. If he dropped another Judgment Dragon, I was dead anyway. But he didn't get the Judgment Dragon. He discarded Lumina for Lumina. Got Raiden and then sinks into a 7. Yeah. This was kind of funny. There's his third JD. I was so gassed to see it in the graveyard already. He synchros into Clearwing. That was a surprise for me to see. But again, Clearwing negates by level, not by just random monster effect. So I use Borolo Savage's effect when he attacks to lower him by 500, making him killed by Blackluster. Blackluster's effect really doesn't matter because he leaves the field at the end of my opponent's turn. But now he has no cards on hand, no cards in field. End of turn, I lose the Blackluster, but it's my turn and I get to swing him. And that was a good game. Like I said, the deck is fun. It's very out of my element. It would take me a few tries of using it to really be able to optimize it. One thing I think Boot Sector Launch would be a good idea to put in just to be able to rip it out of the deck when I go into Striker Dragon. If you guys know any other techs to get the deck going, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, again, please drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I would really appreciate your support. But that's it from me, and I will see you guys next week with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Later.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning.